Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are ready to get into it. Finally, the train is ready to leave the station, as I was saying earlier, Tom. And we were talking about some of the other teams, but I think we've got to focus in on BREN versus ZIGMA now. You don't seem to be too excited about either of these two teams, but
No.
you did say that you think BREN should have just a slight edge in this.
Yeah, I think in terms of the sort of trio of this team, I think they're the better squad. Like if you look towards the likes of Pappy, Wits, and Derek, I think they're going to be the people that will drag you through the game. Pro every once in a while has a decent game. And Micro, I would say thus far from what we've seen from this team, he's been very underwhelming. Now, he is the new man on the block. He's someone that's been put into this roster and given some of the worst roles on any of the maps. And actually, it brings us interestingly onto Train, where when it does come to the CT side of BREN, he's going to be that B-site anchor. Now, from what we saw previously in the tournament, that wasn't working too well. Like, he had too much to do, and it seems like that's something that desperately needs to be changed. Whether or not they managed to fix it for today, we'll just have to wait and see.
Yeah, that's definitely a question that will be answered in these upcoming rounds. We're into Train, and we're into some early aggression from BREN. A couple of players pushing out through T-Main. PP Overdose having to back away because the Ivy aggression's about to come on in, and he's having to let them go past it. BREN moving on to the bomb site, and it's a very passive hold from ZIGMA.
Bit awkward for Mr. PP, but he gets it over the line in the end. An after-plant situation fairly quickly for the T side, and well, with the CTs so low, they're going to have to hit some pretty tasty headshots. I'm not sure I'm much of a believer, although giving up main, that's interesting. Pro, it's like he had the idea and then forgot about it halfway through. Goldfish memory, perhaps, but it is going to be BREN taking the pistol round and fairly easily. And this is something that we've witnessed quite a lot in this tournament, Hawker, where teams are not that great on the CT side of this map. And I think a lot of that comes down to utility usage and synergy. I've not been impressed with how teams have been able to delay A main control, which is not an easy thing to do, but it's a worry that they don't seem to have much adaptation in that regard.
Yeah, even over in Europe, there was that like 3-month period where Carrigan just seemed to run out of A main every round and no one seemed to be able to stop him. So it's definitely something that takes some getting used to. It's definitely something that's not easy always on that CT side, but that's something I've definitely noticed as well in Asia. It seems like Train is basically a balanced map, honestly. Teams are getting a lot of T rounds on this. So it's a good start for BREN, but they've got to deal with this force buy. Plenty of weapons in play, including the Mag 7. Not anymore, though. Derek just rounds that corner, and now ZIGMA have to rotate because they've got no one anywhere near that B site.
Yeah, I've gambled an extra player over, but in these sort of rounds, I would just rather see them just stack up one of these sites. I either go all in, like splitting the defense at this point just seems a little bit silly, and Derek's doing a good job of selling the fake. Like, he's pulled over a second player. Obviously, the fake has been benefited by the fact that he gets a kill. Rolex is in a very good position, though, and it's almost as if he didn't expect it to be there, but Derek still gets the kill. I'm not quite sure how. Another tag coming in off the back of the scout, but the bomb is going to be able to make its way onto the site, and again, an after-plant position will ensue. And with not much into this round whatsoever, well, I was going to say I'd like to see them hold on to some of the weaponry, but it looks like they're content with just doing some damage.
Okay. Reality, landing some scout shots. Not going to be landing that one, though. He was caught reloading, so Wits can take him away at the end. Couple of AK save for BREN. They make sure to win that round pretty convincingly. All in all, definitely not a bad round for them, and now they're up against this low buy. So should be good for BREN to get some early rounds on the board. I was also talking about the fact that these teams played this map just a couple of months ago, and BREN also started on the T side there, and they were able to get 8-round wins on that T side, which helped them win that game, even if it was a close one. So I'm sure they'll be happy to get some early T rounds on the board, and this one should be easy pickings for the BREN side.
You definitely hope with what we've seen so far.
I say that with bated breath with some of the rounds we've already seen.
Luckily, it doesn't seem like they're going to be making the same mistake. That's the thing. If one of these rounds happens on Train, I think I'm out. Like on other maps, it's still very, very bad. But on train, there's so many like benefits to the rifles in terms of long range duels. That's why we see double AWPs come in so regularly. If I see one of those rounds go the other way, I just think that team is atrocious, and that's pretty much it. Rolex has been absolutely owned by nades. Nice to see a small investment that actually helps out get rid of some of the stack as well. Like with utility being somewhat underwhelming, like the fact that I think there was a highlight stat in the last map where somebody had used 7 flashbangs, and that was like the highlight. What is going on here? Pro has just walked out. Nobody noticed for a good 5 seconds, but he was so hesitant with who he should kill that he ended up killing nobody.
Analysis paralysis there. Couldn't shoot either of them. He was trying to calculate the best play in his brain, and he ends up getting completely wrecked for it. So that's not the start that BREN wanted. Bit of a weird one at the start of the round, but ZIGMA are obviously going to take this all day long. They've got 2 clean kills. They've got 2 upgraded AKs now for the CT hold. This is a round that ZIGMA should really be winning almost every time from here. They've even got the AWP for reality, so there's really no excuse for them. Unless BREN lands some unbelievable shots, the trade should be good enough to win this one for ZIGMA. And reality, missing the first man, but he's still got a second chance, and he makes the most of it. Another shot for ZIGMA, another one on the board. And this should be ZIGMA's first round about to come down. It is Derek still alive, but there's only so much one man should be able to do, Tom.
Well, thankfully, Reality Jesus is going to get the job done before anything gets out of control. A decent first round win as well. Like, they're going to build up some extra finances. Of course, for BREN, that was somewhat of a bonus round, although they had 4 rifles, so I'm not really going to give them that excuse. I think that realistically, that was more Pro's mistake than anything else. It's one of those situations where you can understand what he was trying to do. He was trying to make sure he guaranteed 2 kills, but instead guaranteed 0. And when it comes to being an entry fragger on a map like Train, I feel like you need to be just taking the frags you can get. Like, stop trying to like be the hero every single round, because a 1-for-1 trade on this map is actually super impactful.
Yeah, absolutely. If you can get just that 1-for-1 on Train, you're normally pretty happy with that. It does cause a lot of issues for that CT hold. You have to start thinking about how many players you're going to put towards that B site. You're probably only going to have 1 at that point. So it's definitely worthwhile to get just that 1 kill. Unfortunately, didn't happen that time round. We've got the AWP out for Wits on the BREN side of things. Both these AWPers are actually fairly aggressive, fairly active, at least according to the stats, compared to some of the other AWPers on their T side, on trying to go for these picks. I'll see if that happens in this round, because the flashes are coming through, and reality is the first man ready on the hole.
Yeah, good start again. A bit of an awkward spray down, and the T's are just giving so much space to these battles to come in. The flank is already in as well. I don't even know if they're going to get a single kill. Well, Micro will get 1, but yeah, that was sloppy. Like, again, like not isolating any of the picks. It almost seemed like they were just on a bit of a jaunt down into the B site, and maybe bird watching or something, because it seemed like they weren't paying attention to any of the players at least.
Yeah, especially on Train, you need those nades to be really on point, right? On both sides of the map, really. Especially on B, though. I feel like you've got to have either very, very good flashbangs or just smokes to make sure you can get towards that site. Because reality gets that first kill so fast, then they kind of get slowed down slightly, and it's just a really quick rotation from ZIGMA. They just get everyone over to that bomb site. I think it was 4 separate players getting the kills on towards B because they were all there so fast. And now BREN have very little to work with in this round. It should be ZIGMA bouncing back to a 3-3 scoreline, which is a pretty good start for them, all things considered. As soon as they've got the guns out, they've been doing the damage.
Well, we'll see if there's going to be any damage done in this round. A quick Ivy peek, the flashbang a little late, but it eventually will be a trade kill out. Bomb dropped in the open, though, and Rolex in a relatively good position here. Niffy is going to pick off 1 more, and I think all the worry has gone. The only real problem now is the fact that Pappy is holding himself an AK, even spots the man above. It's already a relatively successful round for what was invested, but in the end, doesn't matter too much. 3-3, a decent buy will be coming up once again for BREN, and I'm hoping now we're going to see a little bit more from the T side.
There's also the opportunity for that double AWP setup if the CTs want it. Normally very common on Train. As you said earlier, lots of long-range angles you can put to use. I don't think we're seeing that second AWP, though. Just Reality sticking with the sniper for now. It's been working for them, so there's no need to switch it up just yet. As you said, this is where I think we need to see something a bit more confident from BREN, a bit more good-looking, because these early rounds haven't exactly been ideal for them. And now they've got the guns in their hands. They are just going to slow things down at the start of this round. Fair bit of utility being used early by the CTs as well. And Just Cause is getting ready for this flash peek in. Derek just went off the angle, though. So luckily for him, he's not going to be caught out early. And you can see that Derek's very ready for this player to be close by, but he won't get the chance to pull the trigger just yet.
Molotov going to be lined up to try and force the player out of pop. Rolex just moves forward. I kind of respect that. I think that play only works well as either you're going to go into pop or if you drop a second Molotov down to actually force him to move. If not, he could just stand there and didn't actually take too much damage. Re-aggression from Just Cause. It had its risks, but Derek completely caught with his pants down. And now they have two men in... Now they have one man in pop. It's not going to know that Niffy's here, so this should be a free kill nonetheless. Pro, I think he's actually watching behind. So he's... Oh, no! What are you doing,
What?
Niffy? Why would you do that?
Did he just walk into the spray?
He walked into the spray. He walked into the bullets. Pro's now wide peak to try and help out PP Overdose. Niffy might have just thrown that round away. All he had to do was be patient. Instead, though, PP Overdose is trying his best to bring this one back. It's a 1 versus 1. Wits, 100 HP. The cross didn't need to do that, but I guess he wanted a safer position. 20 seconds left. The kit available. Both players low. But with an AWP on the other side, it's definitely not the ideal weapon. I think PP might just have this, but no! The no-scope in the last second from Wits is enough to gain them their 4th round. Niffy, what on earth are you doing?
Even in that 1v1, so Wits crosses over into the open, he gets to E-Box, then he scopes in at E-Box, giving away his position, and then he ends up getting a no-scope anyway. Like, I just don't understand this round. Pro is just like, oh, hello, yeah, okay. You're just going to walk in behind me, I'll take that kill. And then this was the no-scope from Wits. It gave away his position to begin with, but he's not going to care. He's won his team the round, and BREN are into the lead, at least for now.
I can't tell if ZIGMA actually communicated at all in that round. Because why would you peek out so that you're open to pop when you know that your teammate's in pop with a guy behind him? Like, all he had to do was wait. That was it. If the CT side waited just a few seconds, they win that round. Now, the money's not great, but it doesn't matter. Great work from Derek to kick things off. A double dig to set them up with what should be a round victory. And especially as he was just selling a bit of a fake, they've still got the main force of this squad setting up over to Ivy. They've taken a long time, though. Considering the 2 kills came in a while ago, they should expect now that there's going to be a few players wandering around. PP Overdose, with the AWP in hand, is going to be peeking into the angle. In fact, he's going to go wandering, and that's enough for Micro to get the information. Sure, there's a player in A main, but it's Niffy, and well, I don't expect anything from him anymore, as he's left with just a pistol anyway. Nice shot from Rolex, but this should be the save. Really, Nifty should push all the way around and go get that gun, and then they save. There's no point in him going for a 1 versus 4 with a CZ.
Absolutely the correct call here. Rolex is still seeing if he can hold on to this position. There is a man between the 2 CTs, though. Happy is towards this position, so Niffy has got to be aware of that. Oh, the timing's lovely. He gets that kill onto Pro, drops down the pop dog, and tries to come back up. He's not ready for Pappy's position, though. Now Rolex needs to land these shots. Good kill onto the first. I think he should be safe from here. Brenner a bit too far away to be able to deny him, so an AWP should be carried over. That gives ZIGMA something to work with in this next round. I'm also interested to see if ZIGMA continue with this B aggression. In these early gun rounds, they've been pretty focused on trying to get some aggression towards B, trying to see if they can pick off Derek early, but in that round, it cost them. These shots from Derek were fantastic.
Yeah, for sure. I still don't quite understand why Niffy went down. Like, I know that there was a gun down there, but his teammate had already dropped an M4, so... Like, you basically have the choice, Hawker, of a guaranteed M4 or a possible AK. Now, I get that an AK is a better gun. Don't get me wrong, people at home, I get it. But a guaranteed M4 is probably the smart decision. I guess that's what we're learning from Niffy so far, that, maybe his head's screwed on a little bit backwards.
Oh, that was long
okay.
range.
It didn't really look like it was that close. Reality Jesus has also picked up the AWP. At a minimum, they're making this round very, very costly. Okay, then. I'd see you, Reality Jesus. Turning water into wine, getting kills through smoke. They both seem to fit within the same bracket of miracles. Micro and Wits, they've actually got to make a play here. And this time, the flank coming out from Niffy could actually be impactful. They should be aware of the possibility of A main. He's picked up the AK, looking for the free kill, but he's now been spotted. He hits the shot. Oh, he could have just taken the kill a little bit earlier, but it doesn't matter. They won the round. That's the important thing. They've stolen one away. A Zeus kill, a kill through smoke, and even a retrieved AK. That's not a bad round for ZIGMA at all.
Yeah, Reality getting rolling with the AWP as well. 10 kills on the board already. There's that Zeus kill. That is pretty far away for a Zeus. That is pretty far away. And then Reality, first shot's good. Second shot is even better. Through the smoke, he just gets the timing perfect. And that really made the difference, because from this point on, his team could get the guns. It started to become much more easy because BREN couldn't watch as many angles. So really good stuff there in that round. And again, BREN have to go back down to pistols. ZIGMA have done a really solid job at just grinding their way back into this game.
Oh, Rolex in a good position. Obviously, BREN already 5 rounds on the T side is not bad, but as said, we've seen teams already pretty much prove to us that sides don't really matter as much in Asian Counter-Strike.
Yeah, you just push all the time, whatever side you're on.
Exactly. Like, you just get aggressive, get in their faces, and that's the goal in this round at least. A bomb plant to boost the money up. They've got the deep smoke to be thrown in as well, although they kind of need one to be put into connector, otherwise Reality Jesus is likely to have a field day. Flash down. They actually didn't have a second smoke, but they managed to get past it anyway, utilizing the flash, and now just causes us to be a little bit careful. He's going to get overwhelmed. The Glock comes out to play. I know how much Blair loves a Glock, but I'm hoping we won't see any more miracles on that regard. And Reality Jesus, he's been doing a damn good job with this AWP. He'll combine with Niffy to close the round, and hey, a kill, a bomb plant's not bad for BREN, but ZIGMA is still building up some cash.
Absolutely. Especially when you've got these two AWPs, you want to make sure you keep both of them in play. Don't want to have to reinvest into those snipers, which are oh so expensive. Pro buying the AWP this time, dropping it over to Wits, who hasn't had as much impact as he might have wanted so far at the start of this game. There have been a bunch of rounds where we're seeing some early fights, though, and I think maybe if he gets a chance to slow it down and try and just slowly work a pick, that could maybe work for Wits. He is currently going over towards Ivy, where PP Overdose is playing with the CT sniper. Early nade damage, though. Rolex and Niffy are both down to half health. Once again, BREN doing some decent damage early with these nades. Oh, and the run boost. That is lovely.
Well, the opening picks have been fairly important from what we've seen so far in this match. See whether or not ZIGMA are going to be able to rectify things. Money's not in a bad state. Rolex, he's actually going to get flashed in. Really strong flashbang. It's going to be Niffy to actually get the kill, but Micro very quick to trade. He knows that there's another man around this corner. Just Cause is also trying to get aggressive around the backlines, but he might be too little too late. In fact, Reality Jesus, I do wonder if this is already looking like a save. The thing is, though, his teammate is still going for this. The element of surprise is still there, at least for now, but Wit's putting him down. I feel like at this point, Just Cause should just be looking to fall back and bring a gun into the next round, but he's feeling confident, and Pappy, well, his aim was true. 6-5 in favor of BREN. an extra gun definitely would have been viable. And in fact, he's the man that needs it.
Yeah, this was great to see. Wits finally getting his wits about him, you could say, in this round, getting some kills on the board with this AWP. I was saying earlier, both these AWPers are actually high. They try it way more often at about 18% each. So they're definitely going to get more active with the snipers. We're going to see more fights like that, especially on train. We're going to see a chance for both AWPers to have impact in this round as well. Early aggression from PP Overdose up on top of this train. BREN have got quite a few players waiting around this A site, though. I think they're lining up some flashes and then a quick push into this A site.
Oh, maybe a bit of miscommunication there. One player runs out, the other stays put and tries to take the battle. It means that Derek is almost thrown out as a lamb to the slaughter, and then Micro tries to re-aggress alone. You don't want to stand on that trade, PP Overdose. He's gone. Pro is waiting. He knows that there's likely to be a man through this smoke. As if that's just worked.
Yeah.
As if that's worked. He just threw a Molotov out, got a kill. That man didn't have a gun as well. So he's now just got an AK out of that. Peak comes out, Reality Jesus to take it. I'm not going to say that that was a little bit backwards. Maybe Witch should have been the one taking the peak, but whatever. I can't critique everything. With 30 seconds left, Witz now has to try and clutch this out. The bomb sneaking its... Well, not really sneaky. Sneaking in plain sight. Couldn't be in a more obvious position if he tried, but he is going to get the plant, likely at least. Now, there is a possibility that maybe the kill could be found. The peek out from Pop, and actually the second player's given away his position. Reality Jesus sneaking his way through. Witz looking for the wide peek, and the headshot connected with the USP. Too close for comfort, that's for sure. But it is still going to be the round to ZIGMA. Back and forth we go, Hawker.
Yeah, and Reality is getting the better of this AWP battle right now, which is a little bit of a surprise to me. I thought that Witz was probably going to be the one who's getting more done here, but Reality has been on a great streak at the start of this game. Lots of impact coming in from him. And again, this shot here had to be quick, had to land it, made sure he did. And even in the 1v1, keeps his cool with the USP up close. Good stuff from ZIGMA so far. I think considering the start to this game, they've looked really solid on the CT side as this game has gone on. And this is a buy for BREN, which is a little bit sloppy. Only 2 AKs in the mix, and the early aggression, it's so awkward. Micro just about getting the kill in the midst of the flames.
And trades in this situation are not bad for the T side at all. Just Cause. Oh
no.
We turned around. I guess that's really bad luck that they were even there. A free kill should be coming up for Papichulo as well. And now this has gone from what was looking like a decent situation to a 2v4, but Niffy gives it a damn good go. And well, with the form of Reality Jesus, it's possible.
Definitely don't want to count this man out. He's got that kit as well, and he's got the first kill. Pappy gets caught in the open. Witz has also crossed to that right side, and Reality just spotted him. He's got the information he needs, but it's still going to be a close quarters engagement as he goes round to the right side. Reality ready, but Witz is faster on the trigger. I thought Reality had him dead to right there, but Witz comes up clutch with the headshot with the AK.
Way too close for comfort. Micro, I appreciate the sort of all-in play, but at the same time, I'm not sure how necessary it was. Nice attempt by Niffy as well to bring this round back, and our Reality Jesus again showing that he's there with the AWP. It's something I mentioned in the pre-show, that he's one of those players that statistically isn't that great. 0.96 rating. He's one of the lower end. In fact, the second lowest player on this whole roster with Just Cause. And thus far, he's definitely been one of the better players. Niffy as well. Like, he's up there at the moment. And again, like he's the third lowest player on this team. I guess he's also the third highest player by that regard. But having some better performances. The problem is Just Cause still not having the best of games, and there's definitely been a few rounds where, for example, Niffy's round, where he just makes some odd decisions that kind of let things slip away and make their economy much worse. The other thing I'll mention as well, Hawker, is that the game's been fairly back and forth. Have they saved enough money to buy? No, they haven't. There you go. Answered. My question's been answered almost instantly. They didn't save enough money to buy.
Oh, it's the last round of the half, so they've got to go for it anyway. There's not going to be much to work with. Just Cause has that one M4, couple of MP9s in there. There are some close range angles you can get to if you can get into Pop Dog, if you can play up close on B. Those MP9s can be fairly effective, but that normally comes down to making sure you use those nades effectively to begin with, to make sure that BREN can't get into those positions early. So that's what we need to see here from ZIGMA, and the AWP shot from Wits comes through before Nifty can get anywhere near the Pop Dog. That's exactly what I was talking about. You try and push up close, and if your nades aren't there, you're in trouble. And Derek, oh, that's an awkward spray. Probably should have got that kill, but Pro is backing him up. Ooh. He almost gets the lineup. Very scrappy start to the round, but it's into a 3v3.
Oh dear, oh dear.
Almost blinded by the sun there.
I got the glaring light. Obviously, being a gamer, he's never seen that before, but it seems like it's worked out on his watch, as it will be BREN taking the half, which of course is still very, very good. And it's been a weird one, because there's been so many moments where it seemed like ZIGMA were about to take the lead and dominate. It's also been weird because I don't think we saw any proper B executions. It was only with pistols that they went towards the B side. It was always A.
Yeah, that's very true, actually. Very acentric first half in this game. Gotta say, this round ended so sloppy. I think that's what helped ZIGMA, if anything, because they had the weaker weapons, but because it was such a fast push into A, it just turned into such a chaotic round that ZIGMA could actually use all those close range angles to get the job done and to keep it close heading into this second half pistol. Nades on board for BREN. Micro's got a full set of utility. Wits has a kit, and Wits has a chance for an early fight here over at Ivy.
Oh.
Oh, okay. Something's just fallen over. Brilliant.
Oh, that didn't sound good, whatever it was.
That's bad.
Oh, God. My feed has just started lagging heavily.
I am lagging
good luck.
Too.
Oh, that's not good. It's normally just me, so if it's happening to you, then we have problems. But mine's back. Wits still in a good position. First kill almost looks too easy, but he will eventually fall to Rolex. Plenty of time on the clock for the T's to make their move, and you still have Micro with a full belt of utility. He was holding on the B site, so I don't know how useful any of this is going to be. The pop push has definitely caught them off guard, though, as Just Cause is going to get to the bomb, however, has been dropped. Now, there is a kit, but it's on Ivy. So, realistically, the CT side are going to want to try and deny this bomb plant. A flank from Pro could actually work out for them. He might get the freebie, but the problem is these are the sort of things that make me call into question some of the decision-making.
Yeah.
You know you have a flank. Why peek? Wait for that player to make some noise at least, because at the moment, they're already focused on you. They're going to be watching your position. You're the player. They know where you are. So you peek, give up your life, the flank's now worthless, because the second they get that kill, they go, okay, where's the last man? And they look everywhere else.
Absolutely. And if you are thinking of peeking there, if you're Micro, at least maybe just throw the flashbang first, right? Do something to try and make it possible for you, because otherwise I just don't think you're ever winning that fight. And then Pro is just in a position where all of a sudden they are looking at him. So a bit of a mistake, I think, there. Doesn't allow the opportunity for the flank to come through. You're absolutely right on that one. And that brings us back to an even scoreline. I always get scared when I see the Scout and the Deegs on the CT side, though. These guns can be surprisingly effective at long range. If your aim's on point, you just need a couple of headshots on train to really get you into this round. Wits has been smoked off early, so he'll look for a different angle. As it stands, ZIGMA taking it slow, taking their time, which is exactly what I'd do in this round too, Tom. So I'm happy. For now.
Still, the T's waiting. I think they're expecting aggression in this round, and why not? You know that there's going to be a high investment. There's been a theory crafted by Mitchman and Jason Kaplan that the 4 Deegs are what wins you around in Asian Counter-Strike. Molotov going to force Derek off. He tries to stay low, but that doesn't stop him taking his head off. Wits has also found a couple with the Scout, but might not quite be enough. They've made this round costly, but it was a full investment, so it's not really much of a saving grace. Happy Chulo hunting for blood and ends up finding his own. It is going to be 9-8 in favor of ZIGMA, and the CTs have no choice but to save.
I actually love that molly on top of the blue train when you're against pistols. Like, that's just such an annoying angle to have to deal with, right? When you're running onto the A site, you don't want to be looking up on those trains on these kind of tight, awkward angles. If you just molly that spot, it makes it so much easier to run out of A main to begin with and just mainly have to be focusing at sort of head height. So really nice stuff there from ZIGMA, making sure they win that round. And it is 5 USPs once again. This should never happen, but we've seen it happen already today a couple of times, and they've already got the first kill. So I'm just going to let you take this away, Tom, because it might be happening again.
No.
Just close your eyes and it won't happen, Tom.
It's not going to. They've got it. It's fine. I'm going into this with sheer confidence in ZIGMA. I know that they are not going to lose this round, and thus they will not. Bringing it back comfortably.
This is like one of those self-help books where you like say what you want to happen with purpose, and it will happen.
Now all I need is some like whale song.
Listen to that while you're asleep, and you'll be fine.
Yeah, I'm perfectly relaxed right now.
Of course.
By the way, I have no idea if that was anything like a whale song, but we're just going to assume that it was. And if you disagree with me, then I don't know, cry about it. 15 seconds left on the clock. No chance for Derek in this round. Chancellor is just going to go hunting in. And PP Overdose will get a free kill towards the end. So ZIGMA, they are going to convert this a little bit dicey towards the beginning. And a couple of extra kills for the CT side. Although it may seem menial, it's going to be quite beneficial for them, at least making sure that they have those extra grenades. Now, AWP's up for Wits. This is where things get exciting. He's been their best player so far, and he hasn't even got to play AWP on the CT side yet. So he should be someone to watch for sure. I want to see more from Papi Chulo, though. I said that Papi's going to handle the PP in this one, and thus far, he's not lived up to that name.
Yeah, definitely want to see more out of some of the other BREN players. I'm with you. Looked like ZIGMA were thinking about some early B aggression. They were all grouped up there, but the early Molotov had given them some second thoughts, given them some different ideas. I actually don't mind ZIGMA just sticking together as 5 here. Normally, I wouldn't like this because you have the chance of losing map control, but I think in Asian Counter-Strike, as long as you're sticking together and trying to trade, it will probably end up okay for you. And right now, it seems to be going fine for them at the start of this round. Still plenty of nades for the T side as well. And you can see some of those players lining up some of those lineups onto the A site. As you said earlier, Tom, it's been a very A-centric game so far. And I think we're about to get another round towards this A site.
It's funny because I actually think so far this tournament, I have witnessed the weakest B holds ever. So the fact that we're seeing teams go towards A, it's almost like they want to brawl. Papi Chulo, he's left blind. He still manages a second as well for him. I said I wanted to step up, but that's a huge moment for the round at least. It leaves Reality Jesus, best player in the server so far, to try and find a quad kill to win this round. He might get the first batchy turnaround from Derek. Sixth Sense gives him the information that there's a player there, and they're gonna break the T's down quite easily. And the problem is that should have been more of a bonus round. They're actually not even gonna buy. I thought we might see Niffy at least go for like a hero AK. Like, he went into this round with over $6,000, but instead it looks like he's gonna share the wealth, throw over a couple of deeks here and there, and they're just gonna try and do some damage with the pistols.
Solid shutdown from BREN on this A site. As you said earlier, you said that some of these teams have had weak B holds from what you've seen. Maybe they've just had a gentleman's agreement. Let's just only ever use the A site, right? We all suck at holding B, so we all just go A, and then we're fine. We'll have a competitive game on our hands, which we have right now. Nice kill from
Except
Pappy.
in pistol rounds. In pistol rounds, you can go where you want.
Yeah. Those are the Asian Counter-Strike rules. First rule of Asian Counter-Strike.
Well, don't talk about Asian Counter-Strike. Well, I think we've all broken that rule.
It's literally my job to talk about Asian Counter-Strike right now, so unfortunately, I will never be an Asian Counter-Strike club.
I'm not allowed talk about Asian Counter-Strike, otherwise I'll be kicked out of Asian Counter-Strike. Oh, Niffy. He's been alright so far. Like, he's had some moments where I don't agree with his decision-making, but that is normal. But in terms of aim, he's not been bad. 10-10, couple of kills off the back of the Deegs. Now, they can juggle the AWP over, which I kind of hope they do, because the AWP on the CT side was incredible. And I think it might be a bit of a bold thing to say, but I genuinely believe on this map, the AWP is more integral on the T side. I think a lot of teams really suck at getting opening picks. And I think there's a lot of opportunities, especially around the A site, for teams to work the pick. Maybe not necessarily in the highest level of train play, but this level, I think a T side AWP's pretty important. Oh, wow.
Nice. It's getting aggressive alongside Pappy, both of them getting involved early in this round, and we are starting to see more out of Pappy now. As soon as you ask for him to step up, Tom, he's delivered, and Derek delivers death and destruction through the smoke. The AK might go for more here as well. PP Overdose, the last man, doesn't even want to go close to that smoke because he knows it is not going to be fun for him. Oh, it's not fun.
Jeez, Derek. Like, well, it was having an okay game up until this point, but damn, that was disgusting. Obviously, the second kill, there was someone shooting back at him, so like it's not as amazing as maybe it seems, but still to get a headshot through smoke's pretty tasty. The T's back down once again with some poor financial positions, and I really want to see ZIGMA put some pressure on that B site. As said, I think Micro, from what we've seen so far across the whole tournament, has had some really weak performances. And he is currently the man at the bottom of the board. So everything points towards putting pressure on B. Even so much so that the CT side have taken full control. Now, I'm not a big fan of being this aggressive in a round where you know your opponents have pistols, or you should know, unless you've got an MP9, which they don't. But it does seem to be working relatively well so far.
Yeah, the main thing is that Micro isn't pushing all the way through, at least. At least he's sitting here where you have some range. So if you're up against a Glock, you should win this fight. And indeed, he does. Micro getting a solid headshot to go his way. And Reality is also in trouble. So Micro getting a couple of easy kills on the board. And for BREN, this kill distribution is looking pretty solid right now. Pretty much everyone is having a similar level of success. They're all doing their bit for the team. It's led them to this point where they've got the 12-10 lead on their map pick. And at this point for ZIGMA, winning this gun round is going to be really important. If they lose this and then have to save, man, it's going to be quite a long way back for them. So a fair bit of pressure on for ZIGMA in this round.
Well, this is where we finally get to see the AWP. I'm glad. Reality Jesus was fantastic in the first half. Interesting initial position. The fact that I see him around Pop makes me quite uneasy. Now, Pro, he saw Derek in the last round. He banged some people out through smokes, threw the exact same nade into the corner. But he's not quite going to go for anything of the sort. Four-man stack, as usual, is going to be set on the A site. The B site is still, and always has been, one of the most retakeable sites in the game, so it's understandable. And obviously the adaptation to that is that people have been more aggressive in their post-plant positions. That's something I enjoyed quite significantly to old train, where it was sit back and, oh, let's bounce a Molotov off the door, because no one's ever done that before. But for ZIGMA, at least, they've got a new strategy, which is called Never Go B Ever, and only play A. It's not a good strategy. They keep walking into a four-man stack, and surprisingly, the four-man stack's not going to go anywhere because you've never gone B.
I'm surprised as well that Wits could just jump across in the open there with the AWP and still just land that shot. And again, credit to Pappy, another nice round from him. But yeah, it is getting a bit predictable, this A-sided play. Like,
they're not even putting people around connector anymore most of these rounds. This round they actually had two players on B, which makes no real sense. They rotated one off, and I have no idea why. Like, it also proves that BREN are able to hold the A site with 3 players and not take any real damage. And the funny thing is, as I reckon in the heads of the T side, because they keep going B on these pistol rounds, they're like, oh, we've gone B and it hasn't been working. It's like, you've never gone there with an execution.
They're
You've
about to run
never
into
like
a
had the
stack as
full
well.
sets. And yeah, that's why like BREN have started to just go, okay, well now they're going to go towards this B site. Nice spray down from Micro. Still not as clean as they would have liked, but Pro is in a very, very strong position here. All he has to do is wait. That's it. He doesn't need to peek. Bomb's going to get tapped. Now he peeks. Okay, not quite as clean. I thought it'd be a little bit cleaner than that, but that's fine.
It's fine.
He got the kills necessary. But that's what I mean. Like, it's. I think it might partially be a psychological thing of like, oh, every time we go towards the B site, we lose. It's like, firstly, you're losing every round. Secondly, you're only going there with pistols. And even then, like, you did get a couple of entries. If you were able to trade onto Micro, that round was winnable. But instead, I imagine we're just going to go back to them facing A again.
Yeah, that was actually a really sick spray transfer from Micro. He went up to the headshot on the player slightly elevated and then back down again. I think that's just him being excellent. That's nothing taken away from ZIGMA there, really. Yeah, like you said, these gun rounds have been very, very, very one-dimensional onto this A side of the map. I don't mind them spreading out like this at the start of the round. At least put some pressure on the A side. It's come at a cost, though. Nifty's down to 22 health. Derek is just so good at getting damage through this smoke. Got to be very careful if you're going towards Ivy. I think ZIGMA will now start to be a bit more careful, realizing they're having some problems. BREN have again stacked 4 players on the A site in this round.
I wonder why.
I think ZIGMA, I mean, they're working up Ivy right now, so this might be another A plate. The bomb's actually going back B, I think, Tom. I can't quite believe what I'm seeing with my eyes.
He's in A main.
Oh, he's in A main. Oh, I always get that mixed up. Every time. Literally every time. I'm playing matchmaking and I'm like, my players are coming B with me. Oh, no.
I'm going to be honest. I could have had my eyes closed and I would have been able to tell you that because they haven't gone B at all. True. So it's not that hard to predict. Now, Derek, this is the most one and done position I think I've ever seen. Like, they might not check the first player, but he should die here. First goes his way, and there you go. Rolex is going to get the trade. That's absolutely fine. The problem they have is they've only got 20 seconds, and of course, the rotation is already coming in. Nice shot from Rolex again. He's giving this a damn good go, but Pappy from up above is still making things awkward. The rotation coming in from the remaining players, and they're going to get the bomb down. At least an after-plant position here. A better position from what we've seen from ZIGMA so far. Wits is going to lurk around the smoke, and his teammate... Well, the teammate of Reality Jesus is already gone. He has not played well in the second half. He was fantastic on that CT side. I don't even know if he's had a kill in the second, but he has now. Into the 1 versus 1. Micro, low on HP, 19 in fact. A kit, but very little health. And also no utility. He has to pretty much hit the raw aim. And he does what? That's unbelievable. I don't know how Reality Jesus doesn't get that kill, but more so, I don't know how Micro just kills him through the wall.
That was a drive-by, man. Oh, Micro just running into the open. Wow.
That was dirty.
And Micro's now joint top of the board. He's someone you pointed out as having some real struggles for this team. This game, I mean, partly he's been rotating away from B and been in these spots where he's been able to have impact, but he's just stepped up. That one round where he was tested on the B site, he absolutely delivered. And ZIGMA are facing down a defeat on this first map unless they can win 5 rounds in a row. It is the pick of BREN, but it's still not exactly what ZIGMA would have wanted, and they might end on the A site again. A couple of flashes coming through. Derek waiting patiently, but Pappy's already got 2 kills. Pro with one of his own, and they have to end it on the A site, Tom. This round just sums up this game. They're in a 2v5, and they're in trouble.
All this has taught me is that ZIGMA have watched 0 demos going into this match. 0. Because, well, let's put it this way. Dinko predicted that this would be Train. If Dinko can predict it's going to be Train, then ZIGMA should be able to predict that it's going to be Train, right? I think that's fair enough. Yeah. Like, I'm not going to go ahead and say that Dinko's a bad analyst or anything, but you are playing against them. You need to put the extra time in.